Let's talk about BCHG. So this is going to be a little deep dive on BCHG and to remind you of what's going on. So this picture was a screenshot that I took on the Grayscale website. All you have to do is just go to all products and find BCHG, and you just scroll down and you're going to see the date, which says August 24th, 2026. So as of the 24th, which is today, the asset under management is 102 million and change, right? So that basically means in order for us to find out the price of the asset under management, we need to take that total of 120 or 102 million divided by the shares outstanding, which you can see right here, highlighted, or not highlighted, but the words shares outstanding is 47,123,300. So you take that 102 million divided by 47 million shares and change, and you're going to get the net asset value, right? Which you can see right here. It says NAV per share is $2.18. That means that is what the price should be if it is a 1-to-1 ratio. That means it doesn't have any positive premium and it doesn't have negative premium. So right now we're actually in the negative. How do I know that we're in the negative? That means it's on sale, right? Because if BCHG ever turns into an ETF, then there will be no premiums. So for example, if tomorrow it turns into an ETF, then the share price will automatically jump to $2.18 because it's all about the asset under management. Market price no longer matters. Okay, but obviously it's not an ETF yet. So the market price, as you can see right here, it says $2.03. So basically, if the market price is under the net asset value price, which is the NAV, that means right now it's at a current discount, right? So those are the numbers that I want you to take note of. And then on the bottom right here, where it says Bitcoin cash per share, which is 0.00808859. So if you're going to round it off, then just round it off to 0.0081. So basically what that tells us is whatever the price of BCH, if you multiply it by the Bitcoin cash per share, as I'm going to show you down here, you're going to get a value number, right? So basically what I did was I took the ratio of 0.0081. Okay, we'll just leave it at 0.081, okay? Because I'm using the round off number. So if BCH currently is at $275, then the BCHG NAV price, right, would be 275 times by 0.0081, which is $2.27. And you guys are gonna ask me, you'll say, well, right here it says that it's $2.18. How did I get $2.27? It's because earlier of August 24th, which is today, when they closed it off, BCHG was not 275. It was probably around like 270, right? And it went up $5. That's why now the calculation is not at 218, but it's currently at $2.27. So for a better example, I use $500. So if BCH ever gets to $500, then you want to multiply it by the ratio of 0.0081. Then the price of BCHG is going to be $4.05. $2.05. And if you notice on right here where I said the discount, right? The 10% discount is $1.96. But as of today, the price is $2.03. So you see how the market controllers, right? People that are trying to control the market, they're always trying to get down to about a 10% discount. That's why you saw a volume in the last like 2 market days. 1 million was the volume on Friday, and then today the volume was 700K. So every time when they see the price kind of climb up, they're gonna sell their shares. They're gonna sell their shares to make sure that it stays at about a 10% discount. Because if you watch my previous video on LTCN, the shares was actually at about a 10% discount on LTCN. So they're gonna continue to keep it at that point. But you notice that the price today, right, was at 227. So if you're gonna take 227 with a 10% discount, right? So now I'm gonna minus about 22 cents from 227, and it should be $2.05. So you see how the market closed at 203 right now, right? And now, after the market, it's at about $2.05. So it's within that range of a 10% discount. So if BCHG is at 500 and the NAV price is at $4.05, then the 10% discount would be approximately $3.65. So I'm just helping you guys understand BCHG on a deeper level and how it's running right now. Is because people are always very cautious about premium, and they want to stay under the premium just in case if it ever flips and it becomes an ETF instantly, then at the very least that they know that they can get a 10% discount. But they also buy at a 10% discount in case if the ratio of the premium goes up to maybe 1.5 or times 2, right? The premium. So if that happens, then for example, our $4.05 at a double premium would equal to $8. And this all depends on those who control the market, those who have the big fish, the whales, right? Because they can decide to pump up this stock at any minute, okay? Because right now, the market price of BCHG, it should be the share price, which is 47 million times by 47 million and change, right here, 47 million 123,000. So if we take 27 million, I'm at 47 million approximately, right? And you multiply it by, I'll just use 47, and you multiply it by the, I'm drawing a blank, by the current price, which is like, let's say approximately $2, right? Then it's going to be 94 million. Okay, so right now the current market price is 94 million. But if someone, for example, pumps like 20 million into the market price, so now the market price, if you add 20 million into it, the total is going to be 114 million, right? So the total is 114 million, and the AUM, as we saw before, was at 102. So, round it off, 103. So it'll be at a 10% increase, right? Like a premium. The premium would be plus 10%. So basically what we're doing is we're just waiting for the whales to decide to pump, because obviously they want to make profit, and depending on how much profit they want to make, they're going to pump up the stock. And when people see this pump, more people are going to buy in to continue to pump it up even more. Like, for example, look at Zcash. How Zcash was at one point like $3 or $4, and it jumped up to $40, because not only the NAV price of Zcash went up, but people also pumped it up in order for us to have a premium. So now we have to wait until that time. So until then, as long as BCHG is on a discount, you can buy it whenever you want, right? But right now is a good time because BCH is only in the 270s, and at the last run it was up to 700. So that's why I always say that this is a really good time right now to buy into it, because later on, you know, if BCH gets to like 700 again, then BCHG is going to be around the $6 range at the NAV price. So that's all I have for this video, and hopefully it was insightful for you. And if you like the video, then just give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and you can share this to your friends so they can understand the nature of BCHG and LTCN. Have a good night.